Hey there fellow Wastelanders, it's Robbie Don here. Welcome to episode 2 of my Fallout 4 analysis and prediction videos. In this episode I'm going to be looking at followers, especially Dogmeat and the clothing. What do we know about the followers? Well, we know that there are 4 confirmed followers so far. Dogmeat, Codsworth. Apparently Codsworth is fully modelled inside and outside. So, should he get blown up for some reason? He's fully modelled. Does that mean we'll be able to blow him up and repair him? Who knows? What do we know about Preston Garvey? Preston Garvey is the dapper gentleman in the hat at the Museum of Freedom with the laser musket. What do we know about Piper? Piper is a female we meet at Diamond City, according to QuakeCon reports. What else? There's a possible super mutant follower. Well, there probably will be a super mutant follower in the game, but this is my prediction that this super mutant here to your left in the E3 Atom Bomb Baby trailer may be a follower. Hopefully a permanent one, not just a temporary one. Now, what do we know regards the followers? Well, we know that all speaking followers have been programmed with 1,000 plus of the most popular names, just like Codsworth. It's not just Codsworth, it's all of the speaking followers. And we know that they will track how they feel about the player character. That's a very Fallout New Vegas way, and hopefully that means that another game mechanic very similar from Fallout New Vegas will return. Faction standing. Very similar in how it works. If character feelings towards you have come back, hopefully faction standing will come back. We know that all the human followers are romanceable, and Bethesda have made them bisexual. Doesn't matter what gender you are, you can romance any of the human followers. And we know that every follower can be issued orders like Dogmeat. So go and pick that up, go and stand on that, go and shoot that in the head. You can issue orders. Now, going back to Dogmeat. What does our information of Dogmeat tell us about the game? Well, we've seen Dogmeat fully animatedly attack several different enemies uniquely in a way that suggests that is available for followers. We've seen Dogmeat attack a raider in the neck and go through the jugular. We've seen a Dogmeat attack a mutant down near a river by the legs and tackle it to the ground. We've seen Dogmeat get mole rats by the neck, and we've seen Dogmeat appear to jump at a Protecton laser. So if that is in the game for your followers, does that mean you'll be able to give specific orders now? So say to Preston, go for the headshot with the laser musket. He's got that, you might do it. What else does the information we have about Dogmeat tell us? Well, we've seen Dogmeat run ahead of the player character, and we've seen Dogmeat interact with a fly. Now, does this suggest idle animations, or does this suggest idle relax mode for your followers? Will Dogmeat, is the fly just an animation that plays if he's done nothing for a bit, or is the fly an interaction? Does that mean that Dogmeat might get up and walk over to a tree and urinate if you've not done anything for a minute? Maybe. If that was included, what would the humans do? Would they just reload the guns? That would be a simple enough animation to program in. Or would they have a more complex, like, oh, Preston's a bit thirsty. He goes and looks in a fridge you've just walked past and finds a Nuka-Cola, cracks it open and has a drink. These sort of idle, relax animation type things, it'd be interesting. Hopefully they're in there. There's suggestions that it could possibly be that way because there's more interaction with the environment than the previous games. As we've seen with Dogmeat, he can run ahead of the player, he doesn't just follow anymore, he can wander around, You're no longer trapped to constantly having to turn around to see your followers. Hopefully that means your other followers might do that. Will Preston walk ahead of you? Well, can you tell your followers to walk ahead of you? Will the game engine be smart enough to know that if you're walking in a particular direction, that they should stay close to you? And if you do a quick 180 and start walking the other way, will they walk for 5 or 6 yards that way before realising and turning around? Ooh, interesting decisions. These are things that I'd like to see. And that brings us on to the last subject for this video. Clothing. Now, we know that the spacesuit is back, or a spacesuit is back. Hopefully it's got a possible quest meaning and it's not just a rad resistant piece of clothing put in for us. We know that we can wield big guns in clothing. We don't need power armor. And we know that clothes are now gendered. They're not unisex any longer. So you can loot female clothes off a female and wear them as a male. Hopefully that means you can loot male clothes as a female and wear them as a female. So we get on to the crux of the matter when it comes to the clothing system. How many clothing slots are there? How many armor slots are there? How interchangeable is everything? Is the vault suit the only Star Trek style onesie in there, so to speak? Or are all the clothes? How individual is each item of clothing? Are boots and footwear separate? Do you have a left boot and a right boot? Could you have a army equipped boot on your right foot and a flip-flop on your left? Could you have a pair of shorts on where one leg's longer than the other because it used to be a pair of trousers? Could you have a hoodie on with the arms off because you've chopped them off? We should leave with the question of, we've seen armour and weapons be modified. What about clothing? Could you take clothing and recycle parts of clothing? Could you recycle clothing altogether? We know there's a recycling system in the game for the town and house building aspects. Could there be that in for the clothing and armour and weapons? Which leaves the last question. Or should I say the last two questions, it's virtually the same question. Is power armour clothing or a vehicle or a hybrid of both? And with that, how do the three different layers interact with each other? How will the clothing and the armour system and the power armour system work? Will they stack? Will you be able to have your clothes with the damage threshold and damage resistance stacked with the armour on top of that you've sewn into your clothing or worn on top of your clothing, stacked with the power armour on top of that? That is a question for my next video, where I'm going to be looking at whether or not the power armour is just clothing or is it now a vehicle. Personally, I think it's a hybrid, but I'll go into that next time. It's been fun randomly telling you my thoughts on all this, people. So for now, Robbie Don's going to say goodbye and say, if you've enjoyed, please like, sub and rate. If you haven't enjoyed, I'll get back to you on that one. And stay safe, stay unirradiated, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
She's just away.